Greetings, heroes and Force users of all ages, and welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. As always, I'm Dino Nicandros, and I'm joined by my good friends Alyssa Simmons.
Hello, everyone.
And Daniel Dawson.
Hello there.
And today, we are talking the climactic Part 6 finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney+. Part 6 was directed by Deborah Chow, written by Joby Harold, Andrew Stanton, and Hossein Amini. And, dear God, we're Star Wars fans.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
I am Iron.
I thought they smelled bad. On the outside.
Smells like a new car in here.
Inside the Tauntaun, this is our opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, Dino, talking nerd stuff, come along. Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.
Lord Jesus God, we are Star Wars fans.
Wow. Wow.
You guys, oh man, I just like it. It brings me so much joy to finally be able to talk to you guys about this because, oh man, I mean, I sent y'all like my picture directly after watching it. It destroyed me.
If I had taken a picture, it too would have looked like that.
Yeah, I was just like squealing the whole time, and then the ending with Leia just like really did something to me that I was not prepared for.
Oh my God.
At all. I wasn't prepared for that. I mean, I kind of should have been based on like how their relationship has been growing this season.
Yes.
But
yeah,
there were several things in the finale that like we all like we all kind of, they built it up, but they were like, this is going to happen, and like kept on reminding us that it was going to happen, and then it did, and it still made me cry.
Yeah, I was just like, what the heck? Why am I like her putting on her her like white tunic and the boots and then the holster? I just cried.
Get the hell out.
It really just was like, okay, wow.
Jeez, I mean, talk about landing that plane, man. They like Deborah Chow, man. She
give her Star Wars.
Yeah, man, she did
it.
Like there was so many, there was doubt out there, like and very like misplaced. I'm just I really wish that I like could see and hear all of their reactions to the end, and like I hope that they're eating their shirts because it just like, man, it was a real good finale. It felt like they saved a lot for the like, and they just gave it all to us in the end.
Yeah, I would say this episode justified the series' existence.
Yeah, totally.
In a way
Absolutely.
maybe the other episodes did not.
Okay, so I know we're talking very generally right now, but like now that we've watched the whole thing, do we feel like its existence as a series was worth it, or do you think it could have been condensed into like a smaller, maybe like 2-part film, like but maybe still for Disney Plus, but like a
interesting you asked that question,
like a mini series or something.
Well, I mean that's kind of what this was.
Is kind of a mini series, but like a mini
but a mini series.
I mean a limited series.
Limited.
Yeah.
But did they interview somebody, I don't remember which publication it was, interviewed one of the writers, and they said the project was originally developed as a trilogy of movies.
I mean, yeah, it feels like that.
Which, I mean, they don't have enough material in this show to have
not in
filled
this
3
show.
movies.
No.
But
well, no.
I don't think so. I don't think there was enough
3 2-hour movies. No,
plot action
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
I having seen the ending, I do think it works as a 6-parter, considering part 3 is when Obi-Wan gets his ass handed to him.
Yes.
Is at his lowest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you build him back up through belief and I think it works, and
Yeah.
I think it was always going to hinge on what happened in that final episode and how they chose to go about it. And
oh man,
I mean, come on,
jeez, I'm curious for you guys, like what hit you the most emotionally, or maybe not emotionally. Well, yeah, emotionally, or maybe gave you the most chills or whatever it may be. Like, I can tell you the first time I think I felt first time I felt the chills was Obi-Wan becoming like an earthbender all of a sudden. Like, that was the fucking coolest shit.
So cool.
You've never seen
So
Obi-Wan at the height of his powers
Oh
before.
my god, that was so cool. Oh my god.
So cool.
And then I think from that moment on, I was like, like nails were like into my sofa and just like so riveted. And then I think the first time I definitely think the first time I cried, which surprised me so much, but was when he like sliced his breather and then like his back and then his helmet, and then he's like left there like wheezing. I mean, that like really wrecked me because it's like so sad.
Yeah, that, I mean, all of it is sad, but like the fact that Obi-Wan is really truly like about to do this
Yeah.
is such a heartbreaking decision.
Oh, God. And his performance too was just like,
well, and my answer to that question is the obvious one. It's when Obi-Wan apologizes
ooh,
to him. I mean, I just
oh my God,
was inconsolable.
And I mean, like, sort of in a way, like Anakin kind of like came out for like a split second, and
A
like
split
kind
second,
of like
yeah.
let him
know you didn't fail me.
Yeah, he's like, I did, and I was like, oh man, oh my God, and the way that they
accented with the color change.
yes,
the colors of the saber. I just that is expert filmmaking.
Yeah, there was like the composition of like it was very artfully done. Yeah,
of course, and the sound design of him, going sort of in and out of the Vader voice, like
into
wow.
Anakin, into
Twilight
Vader,
of the Apprentice.
Yeah, it was total Twilight of the Apprentice, but like
Yes.
even more somehow artfully done.
Yeah.
Twilight of the Apprentice is like just the freaking best.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
And if you haven't caught our audio drama of
Oh, yeah,
Twilight of the
shameless plug.
Apprentice, you could find
Shameless
that on our
plug
YouTube
for
channel.
ourselves.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's like, but as you know, we've said numerous times before, and it's not just us, but that Star Wars is a show about rhyming, and this definitely rhymed with Twilight of the Apprentice,
Big time.
big time.
Well, and consider if you are listening to this or watching this and you've seen Twilight of the Apprentice, now having watched this, you'll note that Ahsoka and Obi-Wan slice opposite sides of Anakin's helmet.
I mean, the attention
And
to
the only
detail.
person to have removed the helmet entirely was his son. And if you think that's accidental, you got another thing coming.
Man.
That
And,
is
I mean,
Ooh, I just
beautiful
got chills.
storytelling.
I just got chills again.
The attention to detail, like just just giving us. I mean, because there's so many, like his like the scars where they are like on his head. You know what I mean?
On his head.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just like giving us all of the backstory now. And it's and we were talking about, we said this numerous times. It's like, oh, like it would be. I don't want to like know too much about like you're the bad guy, because then it kind of like
Yeah, right. You overhumanize them. Or
overhumanize
you
him,
start
but-
to forgive them for...
but this is it's really really good stuff, and it just makes it that much more tragic and sad and just wonderful. I mean, you don't look at it like all of his like his wounds now, like all those wounds are memories now. Like you look at that, like the slice in the head, and you're like, oh man, I remember when that happened. I just love it. I think it's so cool.
And you could argue that up until this point, Anakin was still in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And
right.
And he died in this episode.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
fully.
Yeah. It's just at least for the he's we're not going to see him for quite a long time. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fascinating to me. And really, we're jumping around, but when the Emperor is speaking to Vader at the end, he says, "I wonder if your feelings are clear on this. And
yes.
If you have feelings for your old master and they have left you weakened."
I'm just like I mean, as a gay man, I I just get like really like abusive boyfriend vibes like from the Emperor. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, sure.
Probably more abusive parent, but
sure.
No, but sure. I mean, pick a toxic dynamic.
Yes.
And that's their dynamic.
Oh my God.
But there is truth to it.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, of course.
He's not wrong.
And Anakin knows that. And
but it's interesting too. Like, I'm curious if the Emperor, like, because he's a smart and sort of all-knowing dude. Do you think that he like knows that this attachment might like help serve him in some way, and that's kind of why he's sort of allowing it?
Or just simply by being able to press the button of he knows that's going to bother him.
Right.
Yes, it makes him more vengeful, more frustrated, and
sad and angry and all the things.
Sad and angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuel your anger.
I have to say that since we're talking about that confrontation, that will be the majority of this episode, even though there are some wonderful things we have to talk about,
of course,
on the periphery. But the fight choreography,
oh man,
was just the perfect blend of the dynamic nature of the prequel duels, and then also kind of the more two-handed standard choreography of the originals. And
yeah, man, when he struck that frickin' opening pose, like his Obi-Wan pose, I was like,
his Obi-Wan pose, yeah.
And then watching Vader adjust, because we've seen him fight one-handed.
Yeah,
he did that when he fought Luke too, and he does it when he's fighting someone of lesser ability than himself.
Right.
But you see very early on, he then grips it with two and goes back to his Anakin.
Yeah.
He gets into his Anakin stance, and it almost directly, that beginning of the fight, almost directly mirrors the training sequence we see of the two of them.
Because Star Wars rhymes.
God. Yes.
Star Wars bar doors.
Get out.
Lar shores. I love those rhymes.
I do too.
But it's interesting. I love that they'd set us up with those training sequences to show that Anakin still has not learned that his over-aggressiveness will cost him every single time.
That's right. Yes.
And that he never stopped being the Padawan.
Yeah. He might say that he's become the master, but like
nobody has to say anyone who says they are the master, they are not the master.
Overcompensating much, I think.
Yeah. And he does. That's
yes,
Vader's
indeed.
MO.
Yeah, bless.
And I kind of love the idea that yes, while he kicked Obi-Wan's ass in episode in part 3, he's never truly beaten his master, which I think is a great little color to add to A New Hope.
Yeah.
And even then he didn't.
Right.
No.
Obi-Wan gave up.
Yeah. Obi-Wan made the decision.
And he just let it happen. Yeah, he's like, I would become more powerful than you can imagine. Yeah, and it makes it kind of more sad too.
Yeah.
Because it's like that desperation that just never completely gets. I mean, until I guess the very last moment of the.
Yeah, I just felt like this part 6 had like just everything that I love about Star Wars in it.
I think
amazing fight sequences. It had emotionally driven scene work.
Oh man!
It had these huge character realizations and epiphanies and, masters imparting wisdom on others. And it just...
And John Williams' gorgeous score.
The beautiful music.
It's Natalie Holt's gorgeous
It's
score.
Natalie Holt.
In addition, yes.
Yeah, who just completely nailed it. I will...
She went up a notch this episode.
Yes, I felt like 5 and 6, the music just like... Yeah,
it was
went
very
to a completely
done.
different level. Such a fan of hers and very excited to see, what's in store for her, both with Star Wars and Marvel going forward. Yeah, it just like it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Very good.
I loved. Well, we talked about it when Vader first showed up, and we know James Earl Jones recorded lines, but they've been using Respeecher to
make
augment
him sound a little
it,
younger,
make him sound like his old self. But I love how emotional we've got, how the different tones in Vader's voice that we've gotten, and I remember thinking, like in Rogue One, they let James Earl Jones do it a little bit, but I really appreciated here that we got to see still that frustrated and really volatile Anakin.
Yeah, unhinged.
Totally.
Vocally very unhinged, matching, his
and very vocal
his
while
mental state.
fighting.
Yeah,
just aggravated.
Oh my God. And just like freaking getting his like last cathartic like Greek drama.
Yeah.
So freaking great. I mean, which is very much...
The bit when he's burying Obi-Wan and he has the high ground, I was so... I knew he wasn't going to say it, and I'm glad he didn't, but there was also a part of me that was like, where have I seen this before?
Yeah,
sure.
They knew we were all, like, everybody's
of
like,
course, that's where everybody was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. That's all I needed. That's all they needed.
And one of the great Vader lines, I think, ever spoken, not that he has that many of them, but I think he gets one of his best lines ever when he says, I see your strength has returned, but the weakness remains.
Yeah. It's a really
such a good
dope
Vader line.
It's a great Vader line. Oh, speaking of Vader lines, I was going to bring this up on the last episode and I forgot, but I've been telling you that I was replaying through Fallen Order. Another like direct callback to that game that I didn't realize, but that there's a line that Trilla says to what's his face? Cal. Yeah. Basically saying that like I am what Seer made me.
Mm.
I was like, ooh, oh, very interesting.
You did. I think you did bring that up last week.
I brought it up to you afterwards, and I was like, dang, I forgot.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I thought we recorded it.
Nah, but we did
well,
now.
Now it's on the recording.
We did now.
Now it's here.
I know. I was just, but yes, another really great Darth Vader line.
Yes.
I am what you made me, bitch.
Girl. Or Merritt. Oh.
She's such a sassy queen, that Darth Vader.
She certainly is.
Slapping that.
I know we talked briefly at the very beginning about Leia, but I think that's what has struck me about this series is that the thing that gives Obi-Wan his strength back, yes, is in part his blossoming guardianship over Luke,
right?
But more importantly, his relationship with Leia and everything she teaches him,
my God.
and it literally saves his life.
It's just so it's so devastatingly sad, and like you start to recognize like all of the little nuggets that they've left. It's like, did they really knew about this ahead of time? It feels like, because I mean, yeah, of course their son's name is going to be Ben. And
it really feels like,
of course, Leia's lightsaber is gonna look like Obi-Wan's lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like it like now that makes absolute sense, and it's just so beautiful, and I love those details. It's so freaking great. It's so well done that it makes me feel like they did know about this ahead of time, but I don't.
I mean, and call it what it is. I mean, it is retconning, but it is expertly done.
It's
Like,
expertly done. Yeah.
It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
Whatever.
About,
If you're
like,
that good at it,
right.
we're gonna let it happen.
Well, and that's what I mean by justifying the series. It's like nothing between Vader and Obi-Wan, and that was the big question going in, was how are they going to justify them seeing each other?
Right.
Right.
And just think about this for a moment. Like when Vader says, "I killed Anakin Skywalker,"
Yeah.
that means what Obi-Wan told Luke wasn't a lie, and that
Right.
it really is from a certain point of view. It's like, your father told me he did kill Anakin.
Yep.
Right.
And that was from
Those were
his
his
point of
literal
view.
words.
That was literally
Right.
from his point of view, right?
Those were his
Yeah.
literal words.
From a certain point of view. Just like, oh man, and speaking back on Leia again, that was probably cry fest number 2. I think was like Obi-Wan's last moment with Leia and talking about her parents. Oh my God, with the freaking Leia theme
With
playing in
the
the
theme,
background.
Yeah, that
Oh!
I was already gone. I mean, I was like gone when the white tunic was happening,
Jesus,
and then
oh,
just
man.
fully gone. And
Yeah.
that was so beautifully written and
beautifully acted by both of them.
Yes.
Just like taking, like, you know, he took his time with it, and yeah, it was just wonderfully paced, and it felt like it was part of the song, you know.
yeah, and I just loved
Which is
that, like
just so
that
beautiful.
that moment for them got to happen, because I think, you know, in part 2 or whatever, when she sort of, you know, guesses, and she doesn't guess, she's been feeling it the whole time, but
Yeah.
she's like, you knew my parents.
Yeah.
You knew them, and
You lied to me.
and yeah, to get to have their, you know, last moment for a very, very long time be
Oh my God. And then she
that-
echoes Anakin's line.
mm-hmm.
Will I ever see you again?
Uh,
That was the second one that got at me. Got at me.
Gosh.
Got me.
I mean,
Gutted me, I
they-
should say.
Gutted and got. Yeah.
Like just like it was beat after beat, just like taking all of the Star Wars fans and just like pulling the tears out.
But finally tying these two kids to their parents. And,
yeah.
and Leia specifically.
Mhm.
Like this did so much for Leia going forward. And I love that what Anakin, or what Obi-Wan said she inherited from Anakin. I love that it was true.
Yes.
Like, that's what makes it so tragic, is like,
yeah.
he was all of those things.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good man. Very sad.
And
Ooh.
and it doesn't need reiterating, but I will anyway, that the tragedy of Anakin is because he loved someone so much.
And wasn't allowed.
And wasn't allowed, and then couldn't accept that no matter what he did, he probably couldn't save her.
Which, I mean, you know, if we want to get
I
into
wonder.
like theory time, like I mean, obviously this isn't like we can't really pin this on Obi-Wan, but you know, it's a fault of the Jedi Order.
Yes.
You
yes,
know?
entirely.
Of
And
course.
Obi-Wan knows
Yeah,
it.
he knows.
That's why he apologized.
And it's just so sad because, especially since, like, you know, up until now he's basically been, well, he still, I don't think, ever really admitted to I can't remember because it's been a little while since I said, was Anakin ever really kind of even aware of Satine?
I don't know.
I don't think he was aware of their
Like, even had like a whisper of it, like, because I know that they made it canon that
it's
Obi-Wan was
possible
aware
that
of
the novels
Padme.
and comics went more into that, but I don't think Anakin knew.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, it's just like
If we're wrong, yell at us.
I
can
don't
hear your
recall him
screams.
being aware of a relationship, because that would have changed their dynamic.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, right, exactly. And then, well, yeah, yeah, and that just makes that much more tragic because, you know, Obi-Wan tried to get some loving on his own too, but
Honestly, with the tragedy there is that it kind of justified the Jedi existence. It's like you got
Right.
to look what Obi-Wan then did. He's like, I learned a very terrible lesson that my enemies can use people I love against me.
Right.
And that's the push and the pull of like, are the Jedi doing the right thing? And yes and no.
Yes and no. It's a gray thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Gray Jedi.
Hayden Christensen, like, take a bow.
Man.
He got very little to do in this series, and yet so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And iconic. Like, people will
Iconic.
remember this moment forever.
Oh, yeah.
When he's unmasked and you see a single tear running down his face while... Like, what is going on there?
Oh, man.
And
And
a
talk
1,000 different things.
Yeah, 1,000 different things. And talk about, like, such a triumphant return, too, because, like,
Yes.
you know, he like, basically kind of got dogged for, like, you know, episode 2 and, like, again, not his fault. Like, just the lines, like, the things that he was handed was not super great to say.
No.
But to be able to come back and to, like, do such a very amazing, it just must be so cathartic for him. I'm just so happy
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Well, I mean, here's a question. Because he was asked if he'd be interested in particular pursuing Vader further.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we've asked this question on one of our previous episodes. Would you want a Vader series?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not asking for one, but if you give me a good one, I will eat it.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was this one. Because, honestly, I was thinking,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
oh, boy. Okay, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Give me an Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I didn't ask for this, but sure. And then it was amazing, you know? So I'm like, if you could pull it off again, please, by all means, let me have it. I love you, Hayden. You're the best. You the best.
Yeah, I'm a little on the fence, honestly. I think just because the idea of Vader, you know, sort of keeping a lot, you know, a mystery
Yes.
is appealing
That's
to
where
me.
I'm at. Yeah.
So I think
I just don't know how you top
maintaining that mystery while giving a lot of content can be tricky.
Yeah, I feel that very much.
So, yeah. So even though I absolutely take all of the hats off to Hayden Christensen
Yes.
in this,
And the
he was
writers and
fantastic,
all
and
the
the
things.
writers and so happy for him that he got to come back and, you know, do something that the fans are happy with.
Yes. He can absolutely
Um,
be proud of his work.
Yeah, and yeah, so I think I'll say for now at this moment, I don't want a Vader series.
Speaking of people being, like, super proud of their work, like after the, you know, the prequels,
Yeah.
Taika Waititi joked that his film is about Jar Jar Binks, which I'm like, honestly, Taika
If
Waititi,
anyone-
please do
If
that.
anyone could do Jar Jar justice or make us somehow like not pissed at Jar Jar
please,
anymore,
God, do that.
it would be Taika.
I would love it so much. Oh man.
Yeah, I think I'm firmly against a Vader series.
Okay, cool. We have like the whole.
We've got the
spectrum
whole
between the three of
spectrum
us,
covered
yes.
here.
I don't think we need it. Alyssa
You're probably
was touching
right.
on it, and I think I've said it before. Just
Yeah.
overexposure is the death of that character, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
especially when you have such a man. I mean, it's better to leave on a high than to leave on a, you know what I mean?
And they were
Like,
walking a tightrope here because we
Yeah.
saw a fair bit of him,
Yeah.
definitely.
and
Yeah.
it was all good.
Yes.
But
Right.
we're like, wow, we're once you've unmasked him, kind of in the manner in which you have, like, I don't think we can see him again for a while.
Yeah.
No,
You know, I
we
don't, like-
shouldn't. And we
my
should.
guess here is that if we do see him from now on, which I think we
Yes,
will.
we will. For
I think
sure
we
we
will.
will.
It's not going to be like the Darth Vader show. It's going to be like he's gonna have little boops and bips, just like the Emperor does,
right,
or has,
right.
You know,
and more broadly speaking, we will see Hayden Christensen as Anakin again in the Ahsoka series.
Oh my God, that's right.
So it's not like he's going away. This was specifically a question about his role as Vader.
Vader.
That is going to like. That's gonna really like hurt my feelings.
Like we are going to see some Clone Wars stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised honestly if they roped Ewan McGregor into
maybe.
No, I wouldn't be
surprised
surprised
having the three
either.
of them.
Very plausible at this point.
That is nuts to me.
It is nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Can you just imagine?
Yes, I can. I mean, there was a
good.
time where I couldn't, but now I'm like,
and we won't have to pretty soon.
No, we don't have to imagine it.
Oh my God!
What a
an
time to be
exciting
alive.
time.
Yeah. Really.
You guys, I feel it's crazy that we haven't talked about it yet, but like Reva's whole arc in this too.
Yeah, no, that's where we're going next.
Oh my God.
That's next up on the agenda.
So yes, our subplot of Reva, who we've discovered was a Jedi youngling.
Which again, you weren't here last time, but we
gave
you a
we
giant
applaud
pat on the
you.
back,
We gave you all of the applause.
But
Congratulations.
Well, and it wasn't rocket. As much as I'd like to take a lot of credit, it's not rocket science in the sense that there was no way they were going to let her
just be a one-sided boop bip.
Be the thing people have already accused her of being.
Yeah,
just
right.
A one-note villain. Like there's absolutely no way. And I
Poor
also didn't think there
Reva,
was
one note.
I didn't think there was any way they were going to let
Reva one note. That was the most far-fetched
That was a really
reference.
Just
That was a really far-fetched one. What musical is that from? That's like a really old musical, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it Babes in Arms? I can't remember.
I feel like it is Babes in Arms.
Oh my God. God on a whale! Sorry.
And the note she sang was this.
Oh God. I think
All
it's
right.
every woman's first like audition song probably.
Not mine.
Not yours?
I'm proud to say,
wow.
not mine.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
all
right, Reva one note.
Yeah, poor Reva one note.
I also didn't think there was any way they were going to like directly copy Fallen Order
No.
either. So it made sense that she's still overcome by the dark side.
Right.
But she's using it for specifically for revenge.
Well, okay, so if you can help me too.
Interesting twist.
Yeah, it was an interesting twist because I'm still trying to figure out, like, because I haven't watched it for the second time. Like I wanted to take a breath before I watched it again, but because I mean, my God, it devastated me. Her motivation for going to Luke. Well, here's the thing too. Like I got the impression, at least from episode 5, that she I wasn't aware if she knew who Luke was. I think that we just assumed that she thought that he was just a Force-sensitive kid, and Obi-Wan was looking after him. So I don't know if she gathers that it's Darth Vader's son, or if she's who is she getting revenge on?
I don't think that she would be able to infer that.
So is she getting revenge on Obi-Wan, or is she getting revenge?
But see, I thought she did infer it because
she says she's there to get revenge, but revenge on who? On if it's on Obi-Wan, then it's because that would assumedly she doesn't know who this kid is. But if it's on Anakin, then she definitely knows who this kid is.
Well, and that's what I thought it was on Anakin, because they illustrate that with the flashbacks when she's about to kill Luke.
Right.
The first thing she thinks about is Anakin. And I think she pieces it. They didn't do necessarily a great job of explaining it. But
yeah. Which, I mean,
she
it's
pieces
probably
it
not
together like
necessary,
if Obi-Wan himself is protecting somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that is the A to C, but it's like a little.
It was a little muddy. That
yeah.
For me, her motivation for going there and for revenge, it was like, revenge on who? Like I not that you really need to spell it out for me, but I was just it like I wasn't sure, like I loved her arc regardless. Like I loved seeing her go from A to B, but I just wasn't sure who she was getting revenge on. I just kind of assumed, and I was just like, okay, that's fine.
I assumed it was Anakin.
Yeah.
And they did give us some visuals to back that up.
I mean,
but...
the implications of that though are like pretty intense because like we were led to believe that nobody knew, and now there's this other person that's floating around in the Star Wars universe that does. Like that's and Obi-Wan is just kind of like, I trust you. You're like, I know you just had this really crazy character arc, and I think that you're not going to be evil anymore, and you're going to keep this secret. So go about your business, Reva. Like that.
Well, she already. I mean, I doubt anyone else knew. Like, she already knew that was Anakin. That was like a big moment in part 1.
Yeah,
even.
Right. Or
was Obi-Wan
in the beginning,
realizing that she knows that it's Anakin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's episode 2.
Okay, part 2.
But it was in the first episodes that we saw because some both together.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't necessarily. I guess a good way of describing it is that it was a little muddy.
Sure.
Because I just sort of was like under the impression that she knew that was a child that was force sensitive and important to Obi-Wan and Vader. So she was just gonna like go kill the kid.
I'm just gonna go kill a kid.
Because she was just like at that point just like so like raged out that it didn't even, there wasn't even like necessarily a ton of like thought into it. She just was like, I know that is important to both of them, so here I go.
Yeah, so she's still a little bit of a loose, even though she's like gone through like.
Oh, she's definitely a loose cannon. I mean, we don't know. She's gonna, I feel like, go all over the place.
She's gonna continue to suffer. Well, and this is very like, if you played Fallen Order, it's like fairly close to a Seer storyline because like the way she escaped the Inquisitors was by using the dark side. And it scared her, and she was like, I'm just gonna disconnect from the Force like completely now, because she's like, I don't even want to like go there. So, I'm curious whether or not like she's gonna go through a similar journey after. I mean, because it sounds like we are gonna get more Reva in some form.
Yeah.
Because we did, it felt like it was a good cap to this story, but definitely not like a.
Where she ended was far better than where she began, and that's because number one, Moses Ingram has incredible acting chops.
Oh yeah,
but
I think it was just unclear for a long period of time, like
where it was gonna go.
What the deal was there, and I'm far more interested in the Reva we saw at the end,
and potentially going forward too, because like if we continue to see that struggle, that back and forth pull, like that could be really cool.
Well, those are some of the most interesting bits of Star Wars. I mean,
totally.
Luke uses the dark side to beat Vader.
Yeah.
Right.
And then realizes it before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And
so if she could be like, so I mean, I guess that would be sort of like a like. What do we call that? Like a light-sided, like, but like dark, curious. I don't know.
Yeah, anti-hero.
Definitely anti-hero, I think.
It's definitely anti-hero.
Yeah, but like
so how do you
Sith
identify?
Happy Pride.
I'm Sith curious.
He's Sith curious. Yes, absolutely Sith curious. But yeah, she's definitely gone further into, just I think she's deeper than just being curious in the dark side.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, going forward, it's like, is she gonna be like too scared to use it, or is she gonna be like just full on gray, like somewhere in the middle?
Oh, I don't think there's any way she goes back to the Jedi, but
no, but I think there's gonna be, just that internal struggle of her, just trying to be a person,
right?
Regardless of all of the, ish.
I see her path going forward. I mean, using the path word. I think that is her future. Is helping, like basically doing the job that, oh God, her character was so great. What's her face? died in episode 5.
Tala.
Tala, yeah. Kind of like taking over, like picking up where Tala left off and like helping Force sensitives get to safety or something.
Yeah, could be at some point. I don't know if she's there now.
Yeah, maybe not. No, maybe not yet. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where she goes. Very, very interesting and cool character.
The MVPs, potential MVPs of the episode, Owen and Beru Lars.
Oh my god!
You ever gonna watch A New Hope the same way again?
No.
And Beru, nobody would have known that she was like the one that's like, we're going to war.
Yeah.
Here's pull out these rifles.
She was
the
ready.
rifles that I hid behind my planner.
But look at like how seriously they took it makes me rethink like the ending of episode 3. It's like what they are very aware who this child is, like from the very beginning, and the importance and we've seen in this series ever so briefly that what Owen has to endure to protect him, and it just changes.
And they're putting their entire existence at risk.
So again, and I said this at the time we were analyzing, I think episode 1. It really changes how you feel about when Owen tells Luke, just stay another season and then you can go to the academy. And
yeah,
he's doing that because we are now keenly aware of the threat they have always been under.
Man,
I mean, crazy.
It's so cool.
Another moment of the episode that really got me was Obi-Wan showing up at Owen at their place, and him, Owen saying, well, what are you doing here? And Obi-Wan is like, I'm not here to try to do anything. I agree with you. He needs to just be a boy. He needs to just be a kid.
Yeah.
And that's what's necessary right now. And,
Tatooine, where a kid can be a kid.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet and special. And now, at this point, Obi-Wan understands that.
Oh my god. And then he's just like, you want to meet him?
You want to meet him?
I tell you, I don't know why I didn't see it coming. And then he freaking
He did it.
And then I cried. I was like,
yeah, and just damn it, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was so
Star
perfect.
Wars.
Just beautiful. Hello there. Oh man, and it just sounds exactly like him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very close, but that's what I love is that it's very close, and he's not all the way there yet.
Yeah,
he did
totally.
such a great job of keeping his rendition in there while working on intonation and inflection and
a couple of Easter eggs
really well done.
I didn't notice, but that people have brought to my attention. That in the fight scene with Lars and Beru, he hurts his knee. Which is just another wonderful detail, because now we understand why he walks with just a, like he's like this. He's got his gait is a little bit rougher in A New Hope. And then, oh God, what was the other one I was going to say? I don't even remember now. I'm so distracted by myself. That's all right. I'll think about it.
Qui-Gon.
Oh, yeah, Qui-Gon.
I'll tell you when I was expecting him was when Obi-Wan was buried under the rubble.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought that was going to be the moment. I love what they chose to do instead.
Me too.
But
me too.
I thought for sure Qui-Gon was going to save Obi-Wan's life.
And of course,
in some way.
I was like already a wreck, but then that just made me like just more and more.
Just beyond.
All the more the tears. Yeah, and
then,
he looks so good too.
And he does. And ever the master, he says it took you long enough. And here's Obi-Wan who's been agonizing for 10 years. I'm like,
seriously,
I've been watching you this whole
Talk
time.
to me.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, and also it just like, man, it's that moment, him saying that, he's just like, I've been here the whole time, you know, you just haven't been ready.
You weren't ready to see it. Yeah.
You know, it just makes you think about like, you know, moments. And I'm, you know, this is again, I mean, I don't know if this was their intention, but giving a little bit more life to the sequel trilogy. But like when you hear like all the voices of the Jedi like speaking to Rey at the very end, like you could just imagine all of the Force ghosts like there, like with her, you know, and like helping her do this final task. Yeah, it's very cool. Very, very cool.
And what you mentioned, Rey, that's what I thought of during the rock slinging sequence when he lifts those rocks. Think of The Last Jedi when Rey does it to free everybody in the cave.
Yep.
And there is no connection between her and Obi-Wan, but it was always. I remember like before and after Force Awakens, I was like, oh, she's a Kenobi. She's a Kenobi.
Totally.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when that was.
This was kind
around.
of a nod to that, I think.
Somebody made a funny meme because Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, like when he's like teaching Rey, like says something about it. It's not all about lifting rocks, and then just showing Obi-Wan raising all the rocks. It's like, well, I mean,
it's not about that, but you sure as hell can do it.
But it's
you
very
can do
cool.
it, and it's cool.
Very cool when you do it. Yeah.
God, I loved the use of environment. I love like Vader playing like really dirty and using a rock to undercut Obi-Wan, and then like just like what a great new location for a lightsaber duel. I don't think we've ever seen one.
And I love it that like it's literally just they just go there just so that they can duel. You know what I mean? Like it's probably we may never see that location ever again in Star Wars, and we haven't before, at least that
it's
I know
only
of.
important because they chose that to go fight each other.
Yeah, right. It was just out of the way, and of course it was dark because you know it just looks better with lighting. You know what I mean,
Vader is better in darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, it's great. It's good. It's just good. It looks beautiful.
You know, and I didn't bring this up when we were talking about like the toxic relationship between Vader and the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
But one more kind of knife in the back is that while the Emperor is kind of quietly chastising him for caring too much about Obi-Wan, look at where he made Vader build his fortress, overlooking the place where he was burned alive by...
Now don't think about him, though.
Like, this is... You shouldn't
be
thinking about it.
The definition of an abuser.
Literally. I mean... For a man who's been through it.
Every time Vader wakes up and the shades go up on his windows and he's having his morning coffee, he looks out and he sees the place where 3 of his appendages were taken.
Oh my God. Just so great. I don't know why I didn't see in like Ian McDiarmid, like I just didn't, I don't know. I thought that like, I think that I was like, oh no, we've already been so blessed to have as many like cameos in this show. Like there's no way that they're gonna add that many. Oh my, they're just gonna have all of them. Okay, we're getting
all of them.
every cameo,
all of them.
and not just like in the series, in one episode.
Right.
Like my God. Oh man. And so speaking about all the cameos, so Qui-Gon in particular, you know, I mean, I think that they have a very solid plan. I don't know if it's like, it doesn't sound like they're just trying to leave it open for something. It sounds like they left it open because they have a plan for something. I'm just curious what you guys think, because he very much says like, "Oh, your journey's just beginning," or something like that. You know, or we got a lot more. to do,
we have a long journey ahead, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something of that sort.
I think they leave it intentionally open, and I think Disney is still in the process of deciding,
figuring that out.
Because Kathleen Kennedy said if there's fan demand for it, then I don't think there should be.
Well, yeah, it's just like what would that story be, and you have to make it worth it. You have to make it worth it. Yeah, there has to be some kind of a. I don't know. Like, does he like? Do we know? At this point, I know that, or at least I assume that he doesn't know that Darth Maul still is out there.
No,
No.
not
No.
yet. No.
So I mean, that's you
So
know,
it would just be a retread on Rebels at that point.
Right.
So
Right.
That's
Which
the
it's
problem
like-
is
We've seen it.
yeah. I mean, I'd be curious. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. They'd have to really make it worth it. But if they give it to us, I will eat it. I will.
no,
eat
of
it.
course we will.
Of course, we're never going to say no, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying
We need to learn to let things kind of.
Yeah,
be
I
as they
think
are.
that like we were very blessed
But
to
what if
get
we just
this.
left it as it was and we didn't get this show? You know what I mean? I'm very
no,
glad
no,
for it.
I'm saying I'm very glad for this
Sure.
show as well, but I don't. It's not that I don't want more Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You just don't want to fuck it up.
I'm just saying.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a slippery slope. You're totally right. And it is a dangerous path.
Because
to
if
tread.
if we do like, there's going to be a spin-off of Reva and then a second Obi-Wan, and
That's
it's
a
like,
lot.
And all the people that are, smuggling all the Jedi, those
the path.
characters are, the path. Like,
It's a lot.
It's
Yeah.
just like, well, I'd be game for any of it because it's
Yeah.
just taking us to corners of Star Wars we've never seen. But
Yeah. Well, and it's potentially, yeah. I think it is like it at least we're getting whispers of like a whole other side of the galaxy potentially with
Right,
with
and that's
force
what Taika
sensitives we never met.
Taika Waititi has said that's what his movie is. He's trying as best as he can to make it something we just have not seen before.
Which I'm so thrilled
thank
about.
Great.
goodness.
love it.
Great.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
like that.
and if it ends up like getting woven in like into the newer stuff later on, that's great
Yeah.
too. I'm also super game with that. But yeah, show us something new. I'm totally cool with that. But I mean, man, oh god. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be like an entire. I think in the same instance, like they could potentially some clever way work Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan into Ahsoka's
Ahsoka.
show, or
Mhm.
you know
Sure,
what I mean?
sure.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
absolutely happening.
Yeah. There's numerous ways that they could make it like cameos, or just like a large like again, like now that we've the Mando is like such a beloved character that they like gave him his own episodes within
Boba Fett.
You know what I mean? So there's definitely precedence for something like
You could have
that.
an entire episode of Ahsoka be young Ahsoka and the two of them
Mm-hmm.
doing Clone Wars stuff.
Totally. And oh my
And
god.
minds will explode.
And we will be very unwell
Oh
when
man.
that happens.
What a thrill.
I'm still psyched about Andor because I think
too.
partly because of what we've seen in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're seeing some of those characters again, the ones
Yeah,
that
and that's where these shows can really work is if they stay in their own lanes, but they give us information that is helpful elsewhere, like more broad storylines about like how the Empire is getting super bold. And
Do we feel like Obi-Wan could
ambitious
show up
and-
in that show? I guess so, maybe.
it's possible. I don't think so, but yeah, it is. Sure, it's possible.
Anything's possible. When also, I mean, and so could Hayden Christensen.
That's Vader, yeah.
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 Easily.
Yeah.
See, yeah, they keep on talking about like, oh, they're being very coy, like, oh, I guess we could do more stuff, but we'll see. I think that they already did. I think it's like already in the can, potentially.
Probably.
If you have him on set and you were filming Andor around the same time, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's like, can you just walk over here?
Yeah. Give us another hologram message or
Yeah.
whatever the hell. Yeah.
And honestly, you don't even need Hayden Christensen to do it.
Yeah, that's valid.
If it's Vader, it's
Vader.
we're probably not seeing his face very often.
Oh,
which
no,
I would,
no, no.
I would appreciate.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and if we're getting like more lightsaber battles, then maybe, but yeah, probably not though. No lightsabers in Andor, but who knows? Who
Guys, this was
knows?
just some of the best Star Wars to date.
And
Agreed.
was anybody like I don't know if we were prepared to I don't think I would have imagined any of us saying those words, but I agree.
No. That last episode in particular was just some of the best Star Wars.
I think
episode.
and you just know they did it right when like you see over and over again like on Twitter like I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Or, you know what I mean? Just very simply, like, this is why I love Star Wars. Like, it just...
I think that's, like, what we all texted each other after we watched the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's like, I freaking love Star Wars. Like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a group here, a group of some guys in the show that most weeks we'd sit down and watch it, and that was pretty much everyone's response after the last one. I just like Star Wars.
I love Lamp.
It wasn't even love. It was like I just like.
I just
this.
like it.
I like.
I
it.
really
like this a lot.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. I'm just trying to think of all the there's so many other details that they put into this episode that were just so beautiful, and we could talk about it for a million years, but like, yeah.
But we can't.
But we can't.
But we can't because because it's 11:15 East Coast.
Because it's
Oh
late.
God.
Dino, it's late for Dino.
That's so dumb. I
But,
hate that.
well, any other thoughts before we do say so long, farewell?
Well, generally, I
Goodbye?
liked it.
let Deborah
You're not allowed to
Chow-
say that anymore.
Ow!
You loved it. You loved this episode. You can't say generally you liked it.
You're right. You're right. I actually really loved this episode. Yeah, by
Give
far my
Deborah
favorite
Chow-
episode.
Give Deborah Chow Star Wars.
Yeah.
Deborah Chow, Bryce
She-
Dallas Howard, women doing Star Wars because they're really good at it.
Yeah. What she said. Yes.
Yeah, it was great. I had
Yeah.
a fun time.
We have a teaser trailer where I think we've teased this like probably too many times
1,000
at this point. But ned-b is going to be on our podcast, y'all. Oh man.
Indubitably.
Ned
is.
effin' B. Dustin Keitheimer will be
The
here.
world's
Sighthammer.
Sightheimer. Kite sight.
It's sight.
Is it sight?
Anyway,
The whole
It's
time?
sight. Yeah.
the whole time. Yes.
The whole time.
The whole time.
I guess I've never said his
yes,
last name to his face.
But
But he's probably too nice to ever
the
like
world's-
actually like.
This
That's
is
correct.
true.
He
Yes.
would never ever like
No.
tell you said it wrong.
The world's new favorite droid
Yes.
will be gracing us with his presence.
we all stand ned-b.
Yeah, so we're still working on scheduling that, but it is absolutely coming.
Will be coming
So-
within the next week or two. He is on set filming for
He's busy.
something
Yeah, he's doing
that
a.
he can't say what it is.
I
It's the
mean,
ned-b
he's been-
story. They're doing
I mean,
a whole.
he's not been that sneaky about what he's been doing. He like hashtags Rebel Moon. So
Yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
that. That's right.
Doing the new Zack
he's doing
Snyder
the new
flick.
Zack Snyder
That's right.
thing. So the Zack Snyder like knockoff Star Wars. So here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, that will be coming, and Miss Marvel conversations will be coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hope that you enjoyed Obi-Wan Kenobi
Oh my god, and
as
Thor:
much
Love and
as
Thunder
we
too.
did.
Oh whoa, whoa,
Oh,
wow.
Thor: Love and Thunder is
Yeah,
also
yeah.
next week. It's busy time. It's always busy.
It's wonderful time for us
here. It's busy time here at Inside the Tauntaun,
all. Wow.
and in the worlds of stuff that we like. So great.
So great.
So great.
Okay.
Okay, this is Inside the Tauntaun,
This
the
is it.
podcast in the multiverse of fandom. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
And I'm Daniel Dawson.
And I'm Dino Nicandros.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
See ya.
Inside the Tauntaun podcast. Please like and subscribe.